no place like California, California, ayy.
New York, Texas, Vermont, California, no place like California, California, ayy.
I got some out in Dallas, now I'm smelling like LA. Met it from Miami to the Machiavelli. Left the kids on the belly, left the vid on my celly. She ate like spaghetti, I'm hitting gas and Dreddy. Met some killers in Memphis, like they from Oakland. Give me my flowers while I can smell them. Ain't talking about roses, literally I'm lean. Mix it like a bought it in Nashville. Then I woke up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's sunny, California, but nothing like Compton. It's more like Calistoga and it's hot as Arizona. I pop me up Fresno, hard colder than Minnesota in October. Don't interrupt, darling, I'm in the zone. Why does everywhere I go just remind me of home? You know that state of gold with the bed. Them other places come close, but they don't compare.
Now I've been to New York,
come on,
Texas,
yeah,
Midwest, and it all.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. Anticipation is mounting for today's game. We've got two quarterbacks looking to make an impact. It's the Broncos going up against the Texans. The opening kick is straight ahead, so it's time to turn it over to my colleagues, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis with the call. Gentlemen.
All right, thanks, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas at NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Denver Broncos and the Houston Texans. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And with a new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Here we go now. Blue, landed. Leopard.
They'll throw on first down with Osweiler. He's got time. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And it drops down incomplete. Down. And how about this wide receiving core, Charles?
Well, I was at the hotel watching a little film, and you popped your head in and said, these receivers are pretty good from what I can tell. You're exactly right. Can't wait to see them do their thing out on the field.
The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Throwing now, Osweiler on first down. He's going to float this over the into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, T.J. Ward. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
All right, here we go.
Handoff comes to Anderson. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Andre Howell, the one to bring him down. The offensive lineup now, and the guy we highlight, Emmanuel Sanders.
You can use him in any spot as a wide receiver. In the slot, out wide, it doesn't matter. He just makes plays.
Here we go.
Again, Anderson. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
That play almost seemed like a baseball play. See ball, hit ball. But in this case, see guy with ball, tackle guy with ball.
Let's see if the defense tries any pressure here on 3rd and 8.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
On 3rd down, Lynch. And that is in.
You can put pressure on them and make it tough. That's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Here we go on 4th down with Lynch. Oh, and there he goes left side. Picked up, and they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. After the interception, here's Lynch. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 13 yards there on the pickup, and it'll give the Broncos a first down.
Strong left, strong left, strong left.
In the backfield is Anderson. Now Lynch on first down. Screen play, Anderson. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Fresh set of downs here.
Tight ends on the loosey, tight ends on the loosey, tight ends on the loosey. Here we go now.
From midfield now, here's Lynch. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll make it second down. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
Jadeveon Clowney was the #1 pick in the NFL draft, and it was with good reason. An absolute athletic freak. Now he's trying to add consistency to his game.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain.
Single receiver. Hey, Jordan Island over there.
Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Here's Lynch to throw. Got a man. He finds Sanders. They give him 17 yards that time, as that'll move the chains.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread off.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Texans scoop it.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Hurry up, here we go.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Osweiler. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. And here's a look at the defense for Denver.
Brandon Marshall, no, not the wide receiver, a quality linebacker who can cover very well.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Time running out here on the play clock.
Here we go now.
2nd and 10. It's Osweiler again. Underneath for Miller. 23 yards on the play. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space.
Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller his third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And 60 real fast. Took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard.
Emmanuel Sanders, the 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Emmanuel Sanders, his first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. And that one makes it 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. Fielded about a yard deep. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this first quarter. On 1st and 10, it's Osweiler. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Detroit! Leopard!
On 2nd down, here's Osweiler. Dumps it complete to Miller. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now it's Osweiler. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans.
Nice play, baby, nice play.
So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4.
I'm here all day.
Osweiler will throw again. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
Here we go.
Now Osweiler on 1st down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It's a gain of 5. And it'll be a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Mike. Let's go.
Throwing again, Osweiler. He finds Hopkins complete. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
Osweiler, this one complete. It's C.J. Fedorowicz. So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. So now a 1st and 20.
Left. Watch left. Now let's go. Over.
Again, Osweiler. He's got time in the pocket and not able to get it that time. He'd hit on 6 straight passes. Not there. 2nd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Gun!
And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Partner sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that brings up fourth down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good. But when you can couple that with contact on him, that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Let's go. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Black 99 Philly, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56.
They're going on fourth down. It's Osweiler. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. That one good for 10 yards. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down.
All right, here we go.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. Just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Second and 10 now. Osweiler. This will be caught inside the 10. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6.
This offense is in rhythm now, just accumulating first downs and moving the ball downfield.
So the offense has it, 6-yard line. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Let him run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good
End zone. Oh, look at the Jew. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Tackle made by Whitney Merciless.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack. So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
3 down, 3 down. All right, here we go.
From midfield now, here's Lynch. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab it, and that'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now it's Lynch, and he's got his man on the out route. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to, we'll step aside. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lynch. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case,
turn up. I'm breaking in. I'm at the pearly gates, but they won't let it in. I told the devil, I said, I ain't trying to sin, yeah. No, I ain't trying to sin, yeah. Pray to the Lord, Daddy, let me in. I'm breaking in. I'm breaking in. Breaking in.
I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Two teams will need their quarterbacks to step up and lead their offenses on the gridiron today. It's the Broncos going up against the Texans. With that, let's get out to NRG Stadium in Houston. On the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Larry, they broke ground on this place in the year 2000, opened it in August of 2002, and it's been the home of this franchise ever since. Welcome to NRG Stadium in Houston. Today, we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Denver Broncos and the Houston Texans. Miller, the lone setback. Osweiler going down the middle, and it's complete. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And this one complete to Will Fuller. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90! Gun! 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 Over!
On second down, Osweiler. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, T.J. Ward. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. But right away, he lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it second down. And a look now at how the Broncos line up defensively.
A former first-round selection, Bradley will be as comfortable whether covering in the slot or outside the numbers.
Osweiler, this one complete. It's C.J. Fedorowicz. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense, so you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers, because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. His pass caught at the 4. The reception good for 7. It's third down. They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go!
They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans have taken the early lead. And he puts it through. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. So the Broncos coming out now. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. The offense on your screen now, and our first look at C.J. Anderson.
And what a look it's going to be. Making a name for himself rapidly running the football.
Now a carry, it's C.J. Anderson. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's second and long. Shift together here from the D-line.
Here we go now!
On second down, here's Lynch. And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Now let's go!
From the gun on third down, it's Lynch. And this is going to be incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and it's 4th and 4.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
NFL teams last year, a little under 50% on fourth down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4. Throwing, Lynch. He goes underneath for Anderson. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
First carry of the ball game now. It's C.J. Anderson. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. The defensive crew for the Texans. Here's a look.
Whitney Merciless is rapidly becoming one of the top outside linebackers in the game. As well he should. With that name, he's got to be great.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
And his throw here is incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver, and it's second down.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now Lynch to throw. His throw incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. On third down, Lynch. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on fourth. Here we go on fourth down with Lynch. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you score once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head.
Can't find anyone, and down he goes. Osweiler sacked. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down. Well, there was second long, now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
He finds his target, Fuller. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. On 1st and 10, it's Osweiler. And His throw is going to be incomplete. C.J. Fedorowicz, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Caught left side, Hopkins. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And the first play will be a field goal try. This from 54 yards away. And Brenza's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front seven. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. Now, that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it in that.
3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually...
He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. 2nd and 10. It's Lynch again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
10 yards to go on 3rd.
Here we go. No. Check. Patriots.
To throw again is Lynch. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Lynch to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. They'll come out in the pistol. Out of the gun, Lynch. This will be caught at about the 5. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything the defense throws at them, including a safety valve, and that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
And from the 3 now, it's second and goal. Now Anderson. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles. Well, the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Stonewall on second down. Now let's see what they can do on third and goal from the 2. They'll run for it with Anderson. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. C.J. Anderson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score. Able to punch it in on third down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up, never even got to it.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he will be marked out right there at the 20-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And now we're circling here around the 2-minute warning.
This is a setup play, trying to get one last one in before the clock warning.
Watch right.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. And he fires one that's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston.
Over! Here we go!
Back to the air, Osweiler after the pick 6. To the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run the ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Osweiler. Now the ball's out. Osweiler lost it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now Osweiler, and incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now. They've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
This is taken at the 23. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in the touchdown looked pretty good. So they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
We got 4.
On second down, Lynch. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
From the gun on third down, it's Lynch. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Tight on this side, boys. Tight on the left. Tight on the left. Move.
Throwing here, Lynch on first down. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Tight right. Here we go.
To throw again is Lynch. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Throwing again here. Lynch. Got his man. It's Thomas. Touchdown, Denver. Demaryius Thomas in the final seconds of the first half. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And from this spot in the field to the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Now Lynch to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Green 39! Green 39! Watch it now, Barney! Blue 90! Here we go! Blue 90! Mike's by 4, Mike's by 4, Mike's by 4. Leopard! Leopard! Show it 8. Gun! 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 Kill! Turn up! Set!
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
Here we go now!
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive. So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And
he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's the Red Sea parts, and there he goes. 30. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, no, I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on.
Fine. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Akeem Talib. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
On 2nd down, Anderson. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. C.J. Anderson with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Broncos use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next...
And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way, because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They run it again with Anderson. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there.
But even though I'm not rooting for either team, that was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Now it's Lynch. Catch here, left side, Thomas. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And Lambeau will put this one through, and their lead will swell up to 28. So after the pick, they can't capitalize for 6, but they do get 3.
And I know in this situation, most of us want to focus on the offense. You know what side of the ball I played on. Let's give that defense a lot of credit, taking over in a sudden change situation and shutting them down.
And now out comes Houston. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Caught left side, Hopkins. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now Osweiler on first down. To the catch made by Hopkins. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Second down, just 1 yard to go. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Watch it now, Barney.
On second down, here's Osweiler. Underneath for Miller. And he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing over the middle, he can really see everything clear.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it.
Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans get a bit closer. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
I agree with you totally. No one that goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get a play, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Demaryius Thomas, 77 yards. And the Broncos will add on to their lead.
In order to lead in the game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Second and 10, it's Osweiler again. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got to a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
Decent chunk of yardage still left here. Second and 7. They come up in an offset eye. They give it to Anderson. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2. Now third down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
To throw is Lynch. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up fourth down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They go back to the air here after the INT. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So second and 10 here.
Watch 17, watch 17.
From the shotgun, Osweiler. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You drop an 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Here's Osweiler. And finding Fedorowicz. They give him 12 yards and a first down. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And they're going to speed things up here. Now Osweiler. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, they'll drive a team towards a victory.
And let's discuss Osweiler a little bit further. Obviously an interesting journey for him to get here to Houston.
Groomed in Denver and actually got to play some before he ended up making his departure to Houston. But after the Broncos won the Super Bowl, I think he was in search of his own.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller, His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Texans cut into that lead. And that'll cut the lead back now to 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Another toe here for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Anderson. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Now a handoff here to his running back. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Back-to-back stops, making 3rd and 10. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So here we go now. Next to defensive back in on 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Lynch. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. We'll check on his status when we get back. This is taken at the 18. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans take possession. And now out comes Houston. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and we'll do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit bent.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Clef Averill in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Leopard!
They isolate Hopkins on the left side. Osweiler. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays,
and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Texans get a bit closer. And he's got it up and through. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Broncos are able to recover, and that should just about wrap this one up. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that down, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. So now Now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Carry number 20 coming up for Anderson. And he'll take. And now the Texans want to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Throwing, Lynch. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
How about the timing on that one? Where they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like...
Now hang on here, timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside.
3 down. Here we go now.
Oh, Lynch gonna throw. Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Their big tight end high in the air to bring it in. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They can't do it
here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
2nd and 10. It's Osweiler again. Fuller brings it in over the middle. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Texans cut into that lead. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that